cmBuilder into our organization, how that went from a desire to add a tool for a point solution within our BDC group, and how we found other use cases in the business to help foster broader adoption, and now to the point where we're in a national pilot all across the country when we started with one project. So, quick note, even though it says a pyramid scheme, there's no scam involved. I will say maybe sometimes you gotta trick people a little bit along the way to convince them to do what you know they need to do. So, but no scam involved. So, real quick, we'll do some introductions. There we go.
Thank you, James, for the clarification. So, real quick, my name is Khoi Pham. Been with McCarthy for about 6 years. As you can see in the photo, Legos, kids, and photos and outdoor are my go-to time outside of playing on a computer. Professionally, I drive VDC support for our self-perform business in the NORPAC regions, and you see some of that self-perform story as we go along with the presentation. So, James,
So this is my family, my wife and kid. This is actually us up skiing in Banff in April. So, I mean, this is what we do all the time: travel, ski, camp, try to be outside. Actually, after this, we're gonna go camping up in Whistler. So, myself, I was in the field for about 16 years before coming to McCarthy and deciding to go all in on BDC. Started doing trade coordination and Navis work back in 2009, but always been like a MEP manager that just did BDC as well. But decided I liked the idea of like just being focused on BDC and stop fighting over change orders. So I came over to McCarthy. A little bit about McCarthy. So we're actually the oldest privately owned construction company in the US, founded in 1864. The McCarthy family decided around the early 2000s that they were done running a construction company, and they handed it over to the employees. So we're now 100% employee owned, about 6,300 employees, and pushing about $7 billion of work. We do a lot of commercial projects, infrastructure projects, and institutional projects, or institutional clients, a lot of commercial, airports, prisons, water, kind of that gamut of type of work. Being an employee-owned company, we stress our core values very strongly to keep all those employee owners all kind of working in the same direction. So our core values are genuine, being honest and transparent, we not I, having that go-getter attitude to do what's best for the project and the client, and then that all-in attitude, because we all know how construction is, there's always those points where it takes a little extra work, right? And having that spirit within companies. So with these core values, McCarthy's mission statement is to be the best builder in America. And within the BDC group at McCarthy, we see to be the best builder in America, we have to be the best future builder of America, in America. And our approach has been to make a cultural shift within our business in the last few years. And what we call that is integrated virtual building. So the idea that these tools and processes that we've been developing within our BDC group no longer stay in this back room, right? That these tools and these processes become embedded into the business. And because let's be honest, we can't hire enough BDC people to keep up with the amount of work that's out there and what the projects have come to expect of our teams now. So it's become crucial to get that into the operations of the business and using integrated virtual building through every portion of the life cycle of the project to really draw that value out. And the way we see getting there is that it can't just be BDC, right? It needs to be the whole business. So it was under this cultural change in the business that cmBuilder happened to be coming into our organization. It was almost a right time, right place now. And real quick, before we get to that, so at the time, when we first started looking at cmBuilder, Khoi, being in our self-perform business, is often in charge of putting together 4D sequences, 4D schedules, right? And he started to see an opportunity to improve that workflow by using cmBuilder before he got to the full 4D schedule.
Okay. So a little bit of context here. This is probably similar to similar practice for putting together 4D models, but the process involved, getting our project schedule, gently ask for the 2D logistic markup from operation team, and then go hunt for that rep models, 32 of them in the Kyle case. Putting all that together, establishing the link, and then push out the animation, show that to your stakeholders, and get feedback and reviews, and repeat the cycles. Oftentimes, that process left out the logistic components that live somewhere in the silos, and so cmBuilder came in and made that connection, right? Provided start breaking down barriers and provide a more integrated approach in our planning process. I won't bore you with how good cmBuilder is with collaboration and interaction, but it makes the biggest benefit from cmBuilder is it makes planning much more dynamic and much more fluid than the process used to be. Then, okay. So a little bit of book report here. So when we started rolling out cmBuilder, I came across this Crossing the Chasm book by Jeffrey Moore. So he talked about tech company trying to enter a market, and one of the challenge one of the problem that they often encounter is, the separation between the early market and the mainstream market, where we have innovators and early adopters who blindly jump into the new tech without question asked, and then the more conservative mainstream market that are often very cautious or even hesitant or resistant when it comes to adopting new technology. And so with those two groups, right, being on the opposite end of the spectrum, right, we have a gap that needs to be bridged or need to be crossed in order to successfully adopt any new technology, and in this case, cmBuilder, right? To VDC, it is a super intuitive and easy tool to use, but for many, it's when they hear 3D and 4D, it feels intimidated. So, the book taught me some good strategies on how we solve that challenge, and being able to make the adoption as widespread as possible. So this is a pyramid that we mentioned in the title, right? It's inverted, starting at the very bottom for early adopter innovators, and then we start making our way into the niche market within the company, building our precision and crafting a message to gather more interest and buy-in, and then working with Shane with the cmBuilder developing team to develop and deliver the whole project experience for our stakeholders. And we won't be able to get far without, building strategic partnership. I've only been in McCarthy for about 6 years, so 6,300 people is a lot to get to know. So you gotta make sure that you know the right people. And then training and support, keeping it forward and making sure that our user can help lessen the learning curve and onboarding experience for them. Make it as easy as possible to enter and start using the product, and then follow through. But we'll talk more into the detail for each of these strategies.
Right, so Khoi wanted to innovate. He started using cmBuilder for part of his 4D process, right? But we couldn't justify him getting a special tool just for himself, right? The cost-benefit ratio wasn't necessarily there for that case. We also had some partners. I missed one. We had some partners down in our Southwest region who were using a demo version of cmBuilder, which I don't think is available anymore. But they were creating some plans and kind of, in my opinion, underutilizing it, quite frankly. But we started thinking about, well, how can we sell this in the business outside of 4D? So at the time, I was starting to work on a prison project in Northern California. We basically built a junior college in one of the oldest, most notorious prisons in California. And the project was supposed to take like 6 years to build from design through construction. And in December, we'll be done, and a total of 2.5 years design build, right? So we took a 6-year project from zero design to completion in 2.5 years. That was supposed to take 6. But because of that, because the project was moving so fast, we saw an opportunity to be able to start iterating the logistics as the design was evolving. And then more importantly, because it's on a large campus, right, really be able to communicate to the prison staff and at town meetings or town hall meetings with the prisoners what was going on, right? So obviously being on a prison site, security is a really big issue, and being able to demonstrate the flow of traffic and people on a prison site was crucial. So this is what I was talking about, the tricking part, right? So the trick was telling them, this is a logistics tool, right? Don't talk about it as a 4D scheduling tool, because then they think that's VDC. But when you say logistics, right, that's something that they care about. And that's how we got the operations team to go and pay for a license, and then give Khoi his toy that he's been wanting, and then start playing and testing it on other projects around.
So with the initial subscription of only five projects, and we've done $7.1 billion of worth of revenue, right? We've got to be tactical and strategic about where these limited projects will make the most impact. So we start with the self-performed business needs, simple pump logistics, and then we start getting into helping the team plan, tricky situation like shoring along an excavated slope. By the time the team is done utilizing the library from cmBuilder, they already have a shopping list and go straight to the vendor and effectively buy the things that they want. So this is from the same hospital that we help. Right. Sorry about that. All good. Yeah. So we start small with kind of self-serving by supporting our the main driver of our business, which is self-perform beside the general contracting team. And then from there, after getting success from those 5 projects, right? James started spreading the word among our VDC practitioners, at our annual VDC Summit last year, right? And we gathered more interest from our VDC partners across the nation. Eventually, we were able to secure a larger subscription with cmBuilder and started, enlisting regional champions who have experience with the 40 planning effort, so it wouldn't be too much of a burden. But also crafting a message nationwide to let our partners know that the tool is out there. Not fully official, but public enough to keep the momentum, keep building up on it. So as we start out with self-perform, right, home logistics, and then shoring, optioneering, right? We started showing more stakeholders how the self-perform planning will impact their work and their planning effort, and start pulling in collaboration from among different clusters, different functional teams. And then start finding use cases and safety planning, right? Site access, or going upstream all the way up to pursue deliverable when our our enhanced visualization team don't have capacity to put together a visual for our pursuit. So finding that creative or picking up the slack using cmBuilder, finding the struggles to and offer that as offer cmBuilder as a solution. It started shaping up to be like a one-stop shop, where previously we would have to go to Bluebeam, we have to go to Revit and other tools to figure many things out, and now everything starts to live in and collaborate and within cmBuilder environment. So we have the technology, we have the process, but the most important part for us to take this as far as we can is partnering with the key partners. Looking at finding ways to help make our partners' life as easy as possible using cmBuilder, and so James might have mentioned McCarthy have 5 different regions: Central, Southwest, Southern, SOPAC, and NOPAC, right? And each of us, even though we follow similar standard and strategies, right? Our relationship with different teams are different within the local setting. And so Central lean in hard on their relationship with their scheduling team and their national business partners to drive adoption. Whereas Southwest, they outsource the content population to third party, but lean in hard onto their relationship with us to get feedback and keep building the model in cmBuilder. And then in NOPAC, I work directly with our self-perform team, so it's our way to drive engagement and adoption. Whatever it takes, different approach, but we're all getting to the same point, and that is spreading awareness and buy-in and adoption from everybody. So, as with any VDC tool, right, without training and support and continued follow-up, right, oftentimes what we've seen in the past is that without training and support, any first sign of a struggle will be the stop for any new user, or for the majority of our users who are not very inclined on new technology. So, between Pedro and Carl and cmBuilder support features and our local regional champions, we would have that multi-layer support and follow-up and training to make sure that our users, if they have any questions at any given time, they have a source to get it sorted out. So talking about lessening the learning curve, because everybody have our day job, and yeah, who want to go learn another tool, even though it helps them long term in the long run. So follow through. After we've done all that hard work, and similar to what Kyle has presented, right? We got to be able to collect feedbacks and data to help to continue building our references, as well as looking at key metrics to make sure that we see the blind spot and development areas that we need to improve on. This ShareLink tool is super helpful to see user engagement to some extent, but it's a step in the right direction, and kudos to Shane and development team for rolling this out. Anything that can help us see more clearly on where we need to drive internal adoption is super helpful, and that's what follow through is about. So here it is, the pyramid again, and I know we went through a lot, and there's nothing you remember from this presentation, just two things. The people, right? Focus on how we can use cmBuilder to make our partners' life as easy as it can be. Instead of thinking about disrupting the process or the workflow, think about enhancement. And that's where you will drive adoption and engagement. And then if you don't know where to start, find the struggles that your company have, and then think of ways that cmBuilder can help solve that. Start small, it doesn't have to be big. That's why we set that event on. So with that, we'll be here for the next couple of days, and if you guys have any questions, I will be more than happy to, if we don't run out of time.